with the.
No worries.
Hi.
Hi.
So who are you?
I'm Jack Smith of Wind Systems.
So what are you showing here?
Well, we have a wide variety of industrial products available. Everything based on ARM or Intel-based processors. We develop them for various verticals. Medical, we do gas chromatography devices. For transportation, we're in tollway systems and on vehicles. In the energy sector, we do a lot with oil and gas and with electric, and things. So we're in transportation, we do logistics. So we help our customers get to market faster with devices that will last 10 years in the market and will be able to be buildable. Right now with all the supply chain issues, being able to be buildable is a big feature for us. So,
what does it mean, buildable?
Being able to source the supply chain components. We do a lot of our own assembly in-house in Dallas, Texas, and so we manage the supply chain for us and for the customer in order to be able to get the components, in order to get the products out the door.
How much of this board are you doing?
We do the entire board. So we design it from start to finish. It's based on an IMX8 processor from NXP. This is a Pico ITX form factor, a couple Ethernet, USB 3, HDMI out, and wide power range capabilities. So it can be deployed in the field for low power usage, but wide power acceptability.
What is this cool?
So this is one of our demo systems. This is taking that same board and putting it through its paces. Right now it's just playing a video, but it can also do AI models and engines for that. So we have the same thing running on an Intel platform over here, very similar case. This is a COM Express module, which is one of our product lines. We build COM Express Type 10 and Type 6. This went to sleep, there it goes. It's a little facial detection on that. So that we use the case as a rugged example of how we can deploy a system. We can deploy that in the field very easily. So the other benefit of our systems, we also help with the software. That's where Foundries comes into play. Foundries helps us with the OSs on several. We support Linux and Windows. We support RTOSes, anything on the generic side there. But Foundries really one-ups that with security and DevOps capabilities. They help us across platforms and help us with some of the SoC partnerships, being able to get support out of your SoC vendors.
So you are doing the speedy time to market.
Yep.
You're guaranteeing the parts somehow going to be available.
Yep, magic.
You think people can get it.
Yep.
And you're going to provide forever updates with the Foundries platform.
Yep.
So you get everything figured out.
We help our customers get their problems solved. That's our job.
What more you can talk about that? Here's some, let's go a little bit behind here
okay.
just to see some of the photos.
Yeah.
So we're seeing some pipelining robots.
So this is a sewer crawler. It helps municipalities make sure that their sewer systems are up to code. They're based out of Florida. This is some of the industrial automation. We do various manufacturing lines. One of the cooler ones there is in the medical space. As they're manufacturing pills, they send 140,000 pills per hour past a laser to get engraved, marked, and pinholed. And we control the computer on that. A lot of oil and gas, both offshore and onshore. Monitoring wells, a lot of that's for safety. We use an AI engine there as well to monitor, hey, is there someone on site? Is there a leak? Is the tank full? Hey, there's a truck there. Why is there a truck there? Helping with those, helping reduce alerts. We're in some military, particularly around power generation systems, from electrical subsystems to deployable generators. We want to make sure that those kind of systems just work no matter what. When the power infrastructure in the world goes down, we have a problem. So we like to make sure our products are nice and robust and reliable for that. Again, more power generation, more electrical side. And then this is industrial automation. That's the foundering of a bearing. So just a mechanical press. So those are some of the topics we've been in.
And on that wall,
yeah,
and on this cabinet, you showing much
stuff? So this is an example of some of our products. We have a variety of form factors. So this is PC104.
Maybe you want to show them?
Oh, sure.
Here?
Yes. Yeah. That's a PC104 form factor. So this is an Intel Apollo Lake-based board on the back there. And then, I don't know which. And on the front, we have a Samtec connector getting up to the PC104E stack, so you can stack on expansion. We also have an M.2 card for either Wi-Fi or storage. We have onboard NVMEs and all kinds of expansion and connectivity, dual Ethernet for displays, etc. Again, a wide power input. Most of our power is wide, like 9 volts to 36 volts. Very easy to handle power from a PV or solar panel setup, or from batteries, or from any other kind of generation. We have a long history in the PC104 market. That's why we keep these form factors around. This is an older form factor. It's got PCI and ISABUS coming up the stack. So these have been around for 10 years plus. The benefit of that is being able to design your product once and know that you'll be able to build it for 10, 20 years. So we've been shipping old form factors for a long period of time, and the PC104 form factors continue to evolve towards these newer standards. This is an example of a custom board. This is in gas pumps, and so this has a lot of security, because for gas pumps you want payment processing, and you don't want your gas pump to get hacked. So this is based on an IMX6 from NXP. Has a lot of connectors to be able to get to the different aspects of the gas pump, the buttons, the keypad, the payment swipe, the output, etc. So these are thousands and thousands of gas pumps use these boards.
Do you use a KiCad, or what kind of software do you use to design your boards?
So primarily for the hardware perspective, we do Altium for the board design. For the software, we do Yocto for Linux. We do a lot of Windows. Again, Foundries comes into play a lot there on the software development. They provide a really nice portable platform. We had one customer in common with them where they had 3 different platforms. They had an NVIDIA Jetson platform, they had an ARM-based platform, and they had an Intel-based platform. And with Foundries, you were able to have one OS setup that worked for all 3 platforms. It was tremendously helpful on the commonality, so that the customer didn't have to reinvent the wheel every time they needed an OS to update. So benefits like that. Other design tools, we use SolidWorks for the mechanical side. So all the solid and thermal, you can't have a board in production if you haven't addressed the thermals. Heat is critical to embedded systems, particularly ones that are going to be out in the field and solar load and things like that. So we have an in-house mechanical engineering. We have really good partners. It's part of the benefit of a show like Embedded World. We get to work with our partners and say, where are they at? Where do they see the trends going? How are heat pipes doing, etc.? What can we do for enclosures? All kinds of benefits there. So those are some of the tools we use. There's a lot of other tools in the background for requirements management and tracking and things like that. But
So how's the partnership being?
Partnership with Foundries is fantastic. They've been really helpful, very supportive really. Like much more so than most of our partners. If we have a problem, they give us a Slack channel. We simply just put it into the Slack channel. They'll either call us or respond back. And they get that handled wicked quick. So super helpful with their support capabilities, very knowledgeable people. They're globally distributed, so like even if we're working off hours, there's someone around from them to respond to us. They've been able to pull us into several of the SoC vendor meetings as well, which is nice. Some of the things like Parsec from the security platforms. A lot of OSs are trying to get more secure and have a standard base layer, and Foundries is really helping enable that.
How would you describe the solution compared to what was happening before?
Well, before it was really kind of an ad hoc Yocto solution. So you'd get your BSP from the vendor like NXP. They provide you a nice functional BSP, but they're not really going to guarantee that it's production quality. They really want you to wrap your own mind around it and get your own mind share into their distributable. Foundries does that. They harden that system. They make it smaller, right? So the standard image from NXP would be a couple gigabyte, 2 gigabyte, for example, which takes up space. Foundries gives you this Linux micro platform really small. It's a couple hundred megabytes. Saves me space on systems, reduces the storage, makes my provisioning time lower, reduced attack surface. They've also make sure that all the secure boot or other Parsec aspects, your secure elements, your TPMs, they're actually in use. Excuse me. Not just on the board, but actually in use. So I feel like they've been hugely valuable for me.
Where are you based? It says
We're based
made
out
in
of
the
Dallas,
USA.
Texas. So we're just south of Dallas Airport.
And are there lots of embedded companies around you?
There's a huge set of telecom companies, and so the telco market and the retail market are very big in Dallas. There's not quite as many embedded markets there, but there's several. Excuse me.
There is in Austin, a bunch of stuff going on.
Yes,
Your
Austin.
customers all over the world.
There are customers all over the world, yes. Austin is a very popular area for tech, for sure.
And how big is your team?
We're about 50 people right now.
And some really talented
Oh yeah,
engineers?
we've had some people there for 20 some odd years, 20, 30 years. I'm sorry. The company just hit our 40th anniversary, and we've been in that embedded space for all 40 years. We have some really, really talented, knowledgeable depth of bench.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. I'm going to give this back to you.